Welcome back to my channel, Tarot with Anne-Marie, where we are looking at Temperance card. We did Temperance card the other day and learned quite a bit about this card. Really pleased that you're joining us for this fusion of Temperance and Minor cards. So this is where I teach you how to blend two cards together. Here's a combination, Temperance and Ace of Swords. What does this mean? A new way of thinking to do with moderating things, balancing things, maybe fusing things together, just like we are with these two tarot cards tonight. How does that fusion work? We want to be able to put the energy of the minor card into the major card. So the Ace of Swords represents new communication, a new way of thinking. It's a double-edged sword. We know a lot about the fact that this is all to do with how the mind is working and our thoughts and communication with other people. With Temperance, it's about modifying things. It's about keeping things in a way where we are using that balance inside ourselves to maybe hold back, to maybe actually look at things in a very different way, to maybe connect with other people and see things in a different footing. Temperance card is all about being able to keep one foot on land and one foot in the water. It's about being grounded, and it's about using your emotions and tempering the two, making sure that everything makes sense to you, making sure that everything is harnessed in a way where it brings out the best in you, and that you are using the two things to create a third. This is to do with either communication that you're going to have with somebody, your communication, or your thoughts, or their thoughts and their conversations. Okay, let's go for this one. Temperance and the Three of Swords. What this is talking about is using a past difficult situation. And the Three of Swords, by the way, is never a prediction of what is the future. It's a card of the past. And people seem to forget that when they're reading. Yeah, it's a card of the past. So if it's a card of something has happened in the past that's not been very nice, you've only got to look at that picture to see three swords going through a heart, clouds, what looks like possible rays of what? White rays? Is it sun? Is it lightning? Is it some sort of halo? All to do with how we're thinking, yeah? And the clouds represent the fact that we can't see everything. The Three of Swords is a card of previous heartbreak. Blending that with Temperance means that you have got balance from that experience. Using that past experience, you are able to modify things, to bring things together, to fuse things, to create something different. It's a bit like going through a transformation in your mental state or in your communication with different people. And Temperance is a card of, it's a wonderful card. It's also about long distance travel. It's about higher learning. It's also very much about different cultures, languages. So maybe you're about to embark upon a journey where you are gathering information for the future, but you are basing it on what's happened in the past to modify and balance everything out. For example, if somebody was asking us the question, what's happening to me at work? It's, look, experiences in the past have been difficult, have been challenging. Conversations have not been easy. You've had a difficult time and it's challenged you. And it's happened repeatedly. It's not just a one-off. So this is something that's been established over a long period of time. But what you've done is you've come out of that stronger, wiser, more grounded, more thoughtful, more intelligent about this, and perhaps been able to bring that together so that you've learned from that experience to be able to balance things and bring out your best side. And Temperance is about mixing, blending, socializing with other people. So this could refer to getting on with people better at work. Quite often you hear people when they're having a reading going, I've got to leave this job. I don't like the culture. Okay? So Temperance is a card of culture, and it could mean just that in the past you haven't liked the culture, but this time your way of thinking is you're forewarned, forearmed, as it were, but you're also very grounded about it. You're also emotionally very carefully testing those new waters. So what we could say here is, from that previous experience, it's tempered you, it's made you stronger. If you temper something, you make it stronger. You are bringing alchemy together, creating and mixing two parts to make a third. From your last job and from the people there, and the two things, you are now equipped to be able to move forwards with your thinking, with your communication, and with the style in which you're actually organizing yourself. So it's saying there are different experiences going on for you here at work. It's not about what happened before, because you are forewarned, forearmed. On the screen at the moment, you can see we've got the Four of Swords. Four of Swords fused with Temperance. It's about maybe taking a bit of a break and decompressing from the culture, from the socializing, from the actual sort of aspect maybe of what you need to do. And Temperance suggests higher learning. So it might be, while you're having a break, maybe you need to actually go and look at something and look at whether or not you're able to maybe go on a course and meet some new people from different backgrounds, anything linked with higher learning, anything linked with travel. This person might be saying, what do you see for me at work? And it's, you need to decompress. Maybe you need a holiday. Temperance card is a big holiday card. In order for us to do nothing, what better than a holiday? Yeah, I'm sure we'll put our hands up to that one. Get away from it all. And then you can focus on higher learning. Then you can focus on socializing, mixing and blending with other people. Okay. Here's one that I want to actually run through with you. So what's happening for me at work? Okay. What have we got going on here? We have got somebody quite important coming in, somebody who is in the same emotional intelligence as you. Could be friendship. Remember, it's a work question. And we are not looking at a position in the spread of anything other than that person. So we're not looking at others. We're not looking at work. Even though they're asking about work, I've told you that's the question. There is a position for work, but we are discussing if this was about the person themselves, how they are now, and physically what's going on right now. So we could look at the past, we could look at the future, we could look at spiritual advice, we could look at their finances, but we're not discussing that right now. We're discussing the position of the self. So what would we get? We'd say, okay, there's somebody around you that's going to help you. They are on the same emotional intelligence as you. They've got the same ethics and principles emotionally as you. This could be a beautiful friendship. It's very strong because of the Two of Cups. There is mutual attraction. Is it not of the romantic kind? Could be, but we are not looking at it in the position of relationships. There is a position for relationships, and we are not looking at it as in the influences of others. For example, if it was in the influences of others, I would say yes, probably is. Okay? So let's bring it back to them. So how's that going to help me at work? I've got strong, grounded ideas. They are strong in themselves. It could be a Sagittarius. Where does that come from? Temperance is linked to Sagittarius as the Major Arcana card. And the Minor Arcana card that links to Sagittarius as well is Page of Wands in the system that I teach and that I personally use and have used for the last 30 years. So there could be a strong bond. You might say, I really like somebody, and it's okay. You might be able to now say, this person looks to me as if they might be a fire sign. Where would you get that from? Sagittarius, number one. And number two, we've also got that Leo symbol in the Two of Cups, yeah, representing Leo. It doesn't mean it's a Leo card, but you could look for the clues. All the blues are talking about positive communication. Look at the colours in the card. Yellow. It's confident, it's joyful, it's fun, it's mixed, it's making a lot of sense. Now, so an emotional bond, friendship, possibly even Emotional attraction, physical attraction. Is it a man or a woman? We don't really know with tarot. People say, oh, it's definitely a man, it's definitely a woman. It's definitely nothing. It's not a word you should be using, okay? We are there to actually give what the cards say, not what our interpretation is. Quite often when I read, people will say to me, I want to know what the cards are saying, but I also want to know, because I've known you long enough now to ask you this, what do you say? And I always say to them, which do you want first? And usually they'll say, they're safe. They say, I want to know what you think, because I don't want the cards to influence your thinking. If I really haven't got a clue, I will actually say, I'm sorry, I'm clueless about this. I'm just an interpreter decoding the cards for you. So terribly sorry, I don't have an opinion on that. Or I'm happy to actually share my own personal experience of something very similar. But the outcome, of course, is down to you, because you are the one, it's your life. These are very different navigation obstacles that you will need to look at rather than go with what I was doing. Okay, let's say we're getting Temperance and the Three of Cups, and our person having the reading is saying, please tell me about work. I want to know what's in store for me. You see this? Okay. There looks like there is a lot of joy, a lot of fun, a lot of celebrations coming up. You might be socializing a lot more, and it does feel as if it's merry. It feels like there's laughter, it feels like there's joy, it feels like you're joining in, and it feels you are socializing, eating, drinking. Temperance is a card of eating and drinking and socializing. It's also a card that comes up as in as something that I was taught, and I found it to be very accurate in readings. Depends on where it is. This person's asking about work. So yes, it can mean links with different cultures, but it can also mean air travel, as we talked about, higher learning, and also things like people that are in the hotel trade or food and drink restaurants. You quite often see that. You might be seeing things here where it's, okay, you know what, if this came up in the position of their work, that's where I would say it. So yes, we've got this whole thing that would tell us could be related to bed and breakfast, Airbnbs, hotels, hotel chains, small holiday lets, timeshares, going abroad, going on holiday, eating, drinking, socializing, even social media. Social media, yeah, this can relate to social media because it's spending time with your knowledge of higher learning, of course, and with cultures and communities that are looking for something similar. They're grounded emotionally, they're chatting, they're quite positive, all that kind of thing. But the Three of Cups is saying it's joy, it's celebration, it's happy. Really lovely one. Okay, different one completely, isn't it? What have we got? Temperance, socializing, being disappointed at work, feeling that what was going on in the past was happy. You're missing it. You're actually in a place where you would much rather be with the old rather than the new crowd. So it's emotional. So this person is emotionally feeling that the social sort of interactions that's going on are not as great as they used to be, and they're missing that. And it's, look, there's some great things going on there. That's why I've got those two cups standing there for you. But that person is so caught up in the past and how they've been feeling about missing old acquaintances, friendships, maybe even people that he really loved and cared about. It's one of those things where that person is not quite ready to see what else is there. They will be, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but at some point they will be able to look at that. And the Five of Cups fused with the Temperance card is telling us that. It's saying your friendships, you're not learning in the same way. It's a bit like maybe when we go to school and we change class, or we change from being junior school to senior school, and not everybody goes to the same senior school. And it's, oh gosh, I wish I was back there with my pals. They've gone off. They must be having a much nicer time than I am. I'm finding it really hard. I don't have any friends. They do, but they just can't see it yet. They're not ready to. And maybe they're probably feeling a little bit bereft of the old friends, this kind of thing. Or they are just not ready. We can feel guilty, can't we, for actually moving on? And that can be what this is about. But temperance assures us the person that's asking the question about work and maybe feeling a bit like I've described of changing schools, they've changed jobs and they're just not quite settled. How am I going to get on? How are things going to be for me? What's going to happen? And it's, look, you're going to meet different people, different backgrounds. And there's a lot of healing in this card as well. They're quite earthbound, which means they're reliable. They are willing to test new things with you, which is marvelous. Nothing better than that. There's a lot of good stuff going on with the Five of Cups, if only our person is ready, but we cannot force it. There is a right time, and there is most certainly a wrong time. It's about that person being ready, emotionally ready. The next card that we are going to be doing, the Devil, which is card 15, and that will be this Thursday. That's quite a big one. A lot of people go, that scares me. I can think that Victor's told me that. But let me tell you, when I was training and going to tarot school all those years ago in a classroom of 10 of us, every week there was somebody in the classroom that would put up their hand and actually say, I don't understand the Devil card. And every week that subject was allowed to take over the whole lesson. There was times when I didn't want to actually go because it was like repetition. There wasn't that control going on in the classroom to say, we've done that. We're not talking about that tonight. I'm sorry for the sake of everybody else. I've got to be fair to you. Please, will you actually allow me to continue with what I'm doing? So please don't miss Thursday when we talk about the Devil. It's a card that actually makes people go, I really don't know what to say about that. It seems so negative. What do I do if it comes up in a reading? Thursday, we'll talk about what the card means. And Tuesday, I'll show you how to fuse it and the many different meanings. Using the method that I am showing you, if you look at it, okay, there are 56 minor cards. So every time a minor card is fused with Temperance card alone, you are getting 56 different combinations. Think about that. How about the fact that not just that, but the fact that we are able to put that in a different position. So it might be about the person having the reading, which is what we're talking about. It might be about someone else. It might be about their obstacles, the outcome, the past, what's coming, the things that they can change in the future if they pay attention to something. Might be the basis of the problem. And so therefore, can you see how many different interpretations you're going to get based on the position, based on the suit, based on 56 different cards, and also learning to be able to look at your suit and be able to say, I'm talking about your feelings. I'm not talking about what you're going to do. So let's have a look at some cards that tell us what somebody might do. How about this one? Okay, what's happening to me at work? This is lovely. You're creative. Yeah? You are creating things at work. Things are starting to happen. What you've invested is starting to pay off a little. It's budding. But there's still a gap. There's still something that you need to acquire to consolidate this. You're not there yet. And at work, that looks as if it's to do with mixing and blending with other people. How you're going to get on. A key part of temperance in a work question would probably be about mixing and blending with others, with the community at work, with the people. That might mean the bosses, that might mean the people that are your colleagues, that might mean another department, it might mean your underlings. It's mixing and blending with everybody in order to be able to bring it together and cause something to happen. It's telling us that you're doing okay. There's more to come. You're not there yet, but you are looking at wanting to expand, to create, to get on, and you're in the process of doing it. It's just not formed yet, but you're in the middle of it, or you're at the beginning of it, and there are other people connected with this. So this would also tell us this is somebody that's actually working with other people, okay? A bit like the Three of Pentacles. Or it could be, and people say, oh, does that mean they're not self-employed? Not particularly, because there's nothing to suggest self-employed in this pair. But what it's saying is you're working with other people. So it might be Three of Pentacles is definitely working with other people in a group or corporate or in some way, shall I say, like schools, universities, banks, those big old sort of organizations that you're paid, you're on a salary by someone. We'll look at that in a moment. Okay. This one. All right. How am I getting on at work and what's going to happen? All right. There's been conflict, there's been battles, and it really has knocked you sideways. And there is something physical in this. Doesn't mean they've been fighting, could be. But it's more to do with what I mean by fighting is assault or anything like that. It could be. But we've got to tread carefully. What it implies is the actions of you and other people with your opponents are not going smoothly right now. Based on that interaction with other people, not getting on with people from different backgrounds, from different cultures, it's not as friendly as it could be. It's actually hindering your development. So this card is working against the Temperance card here. So you're not actually going forwards in your growth. You're not expanding your knowledge. You're not fusing things. You're not combining things yet. Yet is the key word, okay? So it's a bit like saying, come on, it's been difficult. You've been through the mill, it's probably them, but you know what? You can't change them. But what you can do is take accountability and look at things from a different viewpoint and don't actually let it cloud everything you're doing. There are ways to navigate this and get a victory, yeah? Maybe it's, you know what, I always feel that they're listening to somebody else. I always feel that they've got their favourites. And it's okay, you need to study a little. Maybe it's about studying how to better converse. I'm not saying join the bullies, if that's what it is, because Five of Wands can be seen as mock physical battles where it feels very hard for us in the actions of what others are doing. It feels as if it's harming us, and it probably, in their actions, they've done something. But this is also in the position of our person. So there's some accountability got to be taken into account that it's fallen in that position. So it's like, it's possible you've rubbed them up the wrong way and now they're not going to drop it. We've all put our foot in it, haven't we? And created a mess in the kitchen. And yeah, it happens. I would actually say that you would need to say to this person, look, the mock battles are about, it's part of your growth, you know, you've got to pour some balm onto this and you've got to try and find ways of working so you get the best outcome. What's been happening? How have people been treating you? How did it start like that? And it could be something really simple as not addressing the culture in a certain way. Maybe complaining that you've been snapped at. Certain cultures can sound as if they are complaining or shouting or giving orders or speaking to you in a way that you don't like. Or it could be that you're feeling excluded and they're sniggering or something like that. So it depends on what's going on. And this is where you would need to perhaps say, tell me what's been happening. And people say, oh, you're not supposed to be doing that. Why not? It's their reading. You're actually trying to clarify what you've picked up and say to them, look, This is a difficult time. How do you feel about that? The other cards in positions would tell us how this is going to be. This might go right back down into something where they have to start from scratch somewhere else and leave, or we might see that this person has a victory over this. Sometimes people can actually fall out, and if you are able to navigate and say to them, look, I'm aware that things are not right, we all need to get on. What can I do? And I seem to have upset you in some way. What can I do to try and solve it? I will actually work with you and go, well, I never thought you had it in you. Perhaps I misjudged you. You said something and I felt it was insensitive and we took offense. But it's the kind of thing that you'd be asking. And don't feel that you can't ask questions. You really can. You are not there, as I say, to actually show them your psychic sort of abilities of reading their mind or magic tricks or psychic things that cause you to pull out rabbits from hats or something ridiculous. This is what I'd hope to see after that card, Six of Wands. There's a victory now. It's turned around. Sometimes we are the scapegoat. Sometimes we do actually want to blame others for our predicament. But we've also got to look at ourselves. Sometimes people are too much looking at themselves and going, gosh, what did I do? And saying sorry. And that's the problem. We're always saying sorry. Who knows? This is where sometimes it is important to talk to your client. Have a quick look at what we've got on the website for you. It's a birth chart and it's a natal chart where you are able for free to go in and type in your date of birth and find out more about you. Because the more we actually know astrologically, i.e. Temperance is Sagittarius, but there's 22 major cards to learn about planets or the astrological signs, and there are the suits to learn, what their energy is, how they affect you, and the court cards, of course. And court cards are also astrologically associated. If you know a little about yourself and find that you've got a sun sign, for example, it's Pisces, happy birthday to all Pisceans. We went into Pisces yesterday. If you've got a birthday this week, many happy returns. But you may actually have your moon in Libra, you may have your ascendant in Virgo, and so on, which means you are very different facets of your personality will come out that will help you understand you. If you study you or someone you like, it's going to help you with your tarot. I can't stress that enough. And that's why I wanted to put it on there for you. It's not just, oh, well, let's do astrology now. There's so much astrology that will help you that are just attached to the cards. So if you know what a Piscean is, if you know what a Sagittarius is like, if you know or how Aries behaves, you know about the planet Mars, you know about the planet Venus, it will help you. So let's have a look at our birth chart. Here's a little keyed file I've got for you. So Temperance is a card of healing. It's also moderation. It's linked to Sagittarius. It deals with mixed cultures and long distance travel. So 2 cards of Sagittarius, Page of Wands. What's happening for me at work? This is all about higher learning, and this is about communication with others from that higher learning and probably from different cultures, probably international travel, worldwide for you, and maybe you are speaking to somebody who's abroad. This is definitely about communication. Page of Wands is somebody that's got something to say and they're adventurous. So it's saying you are keen, you are ambitious, you are capable, you're a great communicator, you're going to do really well at work. And in the culture that you're in, the development of that is phenomenal. You've got one foot firmly grounded in who you are as a person, and you've got that emotional sort of sensitivity and empathy. When we combine something, we create something else. In temperance, it usually is a case of it's bringing balance, it's bringing more positivity. So you've got all of the facts, and none of this, what I think or whatever, it's just the facts. It's teaching you what that card is. Perhaps far more than you will ever want or need, but you know what? If you've got it all in your toolkit, you can pull it out and go, oh gosh, I never used that before. Tuesdays, I go back over the card that I gave the tutorial on. And I welcome questions on both Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm really keen for people to come in and ask questions. Passionate Saji comes in, Victor comes in, Zoe comes in from time to time. Page of Wands, fusing that card with the Temperance card is telling us this is somebody that's going places. They're ambitious, they are going to get there. Page of Wands is telling us that they're right at the beginning of their journey. And in the Temperance card, I would fuse that now into the Court card. So I change it slightly. You can do what you want. But if it was a person, I'd say there's Sagittarius around you, you're asking about work. I feel that you're in communication with them. I feel that they're very capable. They are probably one of your underlings, but they're going to teach you something. You're going to work with them. They're friendly. It's sociable. It's a healing event for you. You've got so much going on here that will really work in your favor. And being a page, just nothing to do with their age. It's to do with where they are in their journey on this particular thing. If I was going out and riding a motorbike, which no, I've never done, bicycles, tricycle, quad bike, I'm on my quad bike every day, but a motorbike, no, I would be a page of Wands in action, trying to get to grips with how to deal with riding a motorbike, okay? And yet, I'm a trained ADI, which means I'm an approved driving instructor, advanced driver. Therefore, that would say to you, if it was the Chariot, which represents on-road travel, and we'll say it's got 4 wheels, that I'd probably come up as a king or a queen, which is, I've got a lot of experience. I teach this. That's what I've been doing for 30 years. I've done so many things with tarot, and please do feel free. I'm here to support you. I used to support 250 readers on the platform that I created back in 2007. Yesterday I was doing something. I found a magazine with articles that we'd written and free books giving away, events that we'd done. I'll bring that along. His website, and here is the Major Arcana courses, and there you go. This is how you can go on. It's a video course. Once you're in there, it's on my website. You have to go into the website, but you can watch it anytime you like, over and over. I know Passionate Saji asked me, gosh, once I've watched it, can I watch it again? Of course you can. Go back to it as many times as you like. I've even done a course separately on the court cards. I separated them because I know that people find them difficult. There is the advanced course, which is about how to do the spread that I use and the method. There is intermediate. There is the Minor Arcana, all of the 4 suits. So whichever you want to study first. So you can do it in any order that you want to. Whatever you feel you would like to do. And you have to do. If you've got a good grasp of tarot, as in perhaps the intermediate and advanced, but if you feel that you want more information, then I would definitely suggest that you can pick one of the courses if you feel there's a weakness maybe with the court cards. And people say, oh, I don't use them. It's such a shame, really, because it tells you so much, as you can see. Let's use another court card. All right, so again, Knight of Wands. what's happened to this person at work? They're saying, what's going to happen to me? Quite simply, you are going places, you are making things happen, you are still in development, and this is you, and you are somebody that is growing and growing. There is a Leo energy there with the Knight of Wands. People see you as playful. You're getting on with people. You are learning a lot. You are developing. You are very grounded. You're sociable. People like you. And you're achieving great things. A lot of great stuff going on. Question of work. One's always brilliant when it comes to that kind of thing. Let's move it to another suit. Okay, what's going to happen to me at work? And we've got Temperance card, this time Ace of Pentacles. Okay, new opportunity coming your way, materializing. So the difference here is the Ace of Swords earlier on was saying, oh, you've got some new ideas. That doesn't mean they're getting a promotion. Ace of Pentacles doesn't say anything about promotion. Six of Wands would. Okay, I forgot to mention that. Sorry. The difference is when you are using this method, you are able to give really in-depth, nuanced answers to the questions that people have. And I have pitched this at the way that I wanted it to be because of the platform I used to run, where readers would say, I've been reading for years, but I really struggle when someone asks me this or this. And I say, okay, how many cards are you using? And they go, 3. And I go, yeah. I'm trying to get it from that. And they go, oh, I use my intuition. I don't like to do this. If you want to continue doing that and continue feeling like that, you're probably going to get the same results. But if you actually want to use a system and you want to use a blueprint of how to read the cards, think of it like this. When you learn the alphabet, you start by putting things together. And you learn how to quote the alphabet, you learn how to write it and sound it, and you then learn to spell very tiny words and write them. And then you build up, again keeping it small, the cat sat on the mat. Keep it really simple, don't you, to begin with. And then you're writing a little story. And before you know it, essays. You know the rest, okay? So if you look at it as in with tarot, this is building blocks all the time for you to get there. So if you know a little bit about tarot, that's fine. You might not know all of it, and it might feel, well, I was told this, and that's fine. But you don't know that the card is linked to Sagittarius. You didn't know that it meant anything about long distance travel. You didn't know it meant about international travel. You didn't know it was a holiday card. You didn't know it's a healing card. You didn't know it's social media. Then it would be worth your while to maybe go on and do the Major Arcana course. As in, we're not here to turn around and do anything other than share with you that if you want to go off and have it as a hobby where you really enjoy giving a very good tarot reading to somebody, yourself, and people say, can I use this method myself? Because you know what, I can't read for myself. By using pairs and the positions in the intermediate and even more positions in advanced, you will be able to read for yourself because you've got the blueprint. You look it up and you go, how's it work? What's going on for me? Okay, this is what I've got. And let's say this came up in your position for yourself. It's like, how am I getting on? What's going to be happening? That's okay. You're going to start making money from this. Things are actually starting to happen here. You're appealing to a general community. It's going out far and wide. You're very balanced with what you're doing. You're actually being received in a really good way. And physically, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually, everything's going well for you. How do we know that? Because the Temperance card is all about modifying and bringing all of the elements together to temper it. So we evolve. We create from who we are. And it's a bit like a page. A page grows up from going, oh, I'm practicing on my motorbike. Gosh, now I can do this and now I can do that. And got it. Now I've actually been out there. I've got some experience. That's like the Knight of Wands. And then I love it so much. I'm doing some really serious sort of stuff for work using my motorbike. I'm being paid to actually ride my motorbike or teach that. It's in some way so important that becoming an authority with the motorbike. They're queens and kings. All right. So do hope that that helps. And it's like anything. If this helps you, and some people say, I don't use spreads, I just pull a card. That's good. But you're not going to get a career out of doing that. And I have set this up so that people who want to do their spiritual work can use tarot. That's all I'm going to say. So you may not be able to make an income from that, is what I'm telling you. And I know because we used to actually interview the people on the platform to come in and they go, finish, that's 5 minutes. We do 20-minute readings, half-hour readings, 1-hour readings. Oh, I don't know what to do now. Unless you actually come up with something, we cannot actually bring you on. That was very nice enough. They will want more. Oh, can't I just do 2-3-minute readings? How are you going to be able to pay your bills on that? Oh, I only want to do it part-time. Fine. We don't offer that. Some people do. You can do it on social media like that. So that's not really a profession. That's a paid hobby. Whatever you want to do, okay? But if you want to be able to do your spiritual work and leave the 9 to 5, go and have a look at the courses because they're geared up on giving you what you need to be a professional paid reader. I'm going to say bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming to the channel. Please do subscribe and I'll see you on Thursday. Devil card number 15.